Alright, Dragon Ball Super fans, this video is going to be all about good old Gohan. And this is a video I feel bad for not. I feel like I actually recorded this video probably over a year ago, but I never got around to posting it because I just started a YouTube channel and I was, doing a bunch of other things. And it really has to do with Gohan's character in terms of his training. And it kind of goes all the way back to the end of the Resurrection F arc when Gohan approached Piccolo about being serious about getting back into training. Yet after training, kind of getting his body back into shape, he turned down the Universe 6, Universe 7 tournament because of a conference. We didn't see him at all during the Goku Black arc, except a little pissed off that, oh my god, Trunks is in trouble. And he didn't tell me about it. And then we got to see the episode where Trunks saw him as a family man now instead of a fighter. And then we actually got honestly, it was pretty cool. The two-parter with him as a great Saiyaman. And how can I not mention episode 75 where we saw that awesome fight sparring session between Goku and Great Saiyaman. Call it filler, call it ridiculous. I don't care what Goku was holding back. I don't care what you say. It was just great to see Gohan in action again because, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't seen Goku and Gohan spar like that since their time in the hyperbolic time chamber training for the Cell games. Yeah, we saw in the filler Goku versus the thought form of Mystic Gohan in Majin Buu's head. GT, I know canon, blah, blah, blah. We saw GT Kid Goku fighting baby Gohan, and I believe that was it. Those are the only times I actually recall Goku and Gohan going at it since the Cell Saga training. This was, even though the fight itself was maybe like a minute, 30 seconds or whatever, I've watched it at least 15 times. Heck, after I finish recording, I want to watch it again because I just love seeing it. I think that, and again, this video isn't so much about Gohan's power. I mean, I might get into that, but really this video is about Gohan's training and why I felt it was necessary that he trained with Piccolo rather than Whis and, Beerus and whatnot. Here's what I think. When it comes to Gohan's abilities, not just his strength, because we know he has the dormant power, he gets pissed off, he goes into rage mode, whatever. When you think back to, let's say, the Majin Buu arc where he became Ultimate Gohan, that was Gohan at his maximum. Like, his true hidden potential was brought to the surface, but that didn't necessarily mean that was as strong as he could possibly get, because we know through training, Zenkai boost, what have you, as well as the emotional rage boost, he can increase that power even more. I felt that was Gohan at his best in terms of power. If we were talking about Gohan at his best in terms of skills and technique, I say hands down that trophy would go to teen Gohan, a preteen Gohan, pretty much Cell games, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Not Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, but Gohan in general. Just because when you think about it, this was a Gohan that trained for 3 years with Goku and Piccolo for the android threat, trained for almost, not a full year, but almost a full year with Goku in the hyperbolic time chamber, pretty much learning all of his skills and techniques. And yeah, when you think about it, Goku said that he only fought Cell first in order for Gohan to get a feel for how Cell moves and attacks, so he would have a better chance against them, because even before going Super Saiyan 2, Gohan was, holding his own, dodging, blocking, reading how Cell moves. So honestly, I think that Gohan was the peak of his technique, skills, and ability. Go forward 7 years, Vegeta points out that Gohan was a lot more powerful as a kid when he went Super Saiyan 2 against Kibito and sensed his power. But it goes even more further than that when he fights against Deborah, and Goku even scolded Gohan, saying he should know he can't defeat this powerful an opponent by going head to head. And then Vegeta even includes more information like, heck, all he's been doing was going to school, going out on dates, and forgetting about his training. And because of that, I believe Vegeta said he's completely lost his fighting sense. Pitiful. And that's true, because when you think about it, 7 years of training, 7 years of slacking off, his power went down, but not as drastically as many fans think. Like, he's not half as strong as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was against the Cell, because if Gohan as an adult was only half as strong as he was against Cell, that means that he was only as strong as Super Saiyan 2 as he was as a Super Saiyan, a full power Super Saiyan. Because remember, Super Saiyan multiplier, Super Saiyan 2 is twice that of a Super Saiyan. So if Gohan was indeed about 50% weaker, or pretty much half the strength of what he was as a preteen, then he will be a lot weak. He will be weaker than even most fans put him. So I'd say that he might be about 75% or so weaker. Well, excuse me, not that. Maybe 25% weaker than he was against Cell. Not drastically low, but lower indeed. So if I'm looking at this correctly, the only real training that he got before, powering up against Kibito, fighting against Deborah, was when he kind of trained with Goten for the world tournament to begin with. Kind of get his reflexes back in shape. Just get back into some sort of a fighting fit form, because remember, his dad was coming to the tournament, so he had to be on point. And Vegeta said he was about to fight too, Piccolo as well. So when you think about the skills and abilities of Gohan, Teen Gohan from the Cell games was number one. Power-wise, we're talking Ultimate Gohan. Now we get to Dragon Ball Super, and again, the time frames and what, it's hard to really grasp, when it takes place. The English dub has it as, Dragon Ball Super is a few months after the Battle of Majin Buu, because it was about 4 months or so when they used the Dragon Balls to wish away the memory of Buu. Then a few months later, we start Dragon Ball Super, and I'm guessing at least a year and a half has passed since the beginning of Super, Beerus, the Frieza arc, and Universe 6 and whatnot, and where we are now. I think that it goes to show that even though Gohan was able to access Ultimate Gohan to fight Beerus before he got knocked out by Majin Buu, who was swung at him like a bat, I don't know. Then he lost the ability to even confidently say he can go Super Saiyan during the Resurrection F arc, and he even says that he can't hold the form very long because, oh my gosh, is this a result of me not training? Well, yeah. And it really does kind of, weird me out that Gohan can go 7 years without any training, but still retain the ability to go Super Saiyan. And he does strain really against Kibito if you rewatch that scene, which is one of my favorite scenes of Dragon Ball Z, by the way. When he goes Super Saiyan 2 at the World Tournament, it's like he really has to push to get that form unlocked. And then he gets Ultimate Gohan unlocked. And then, again, that was a 7-year difference between him being against Cell, being able to go Super Saiyan a little at will, because he even uses Super Saiyan 1 to fight those burglars as the Gold Fighter. And then a few months after the Beerus arc, he finds it difficult to go Super Saiyan 1. I found that a little bit hard to believe. But again, as many fans say, the writers were nerfing Gohan's power. Because honestly, if Gohan was able to go Ultimate or whatever, those Frieza... Because even Frieza states that if Gohan wanted to, he could have killed all the soldiers in one blast. But he didn't want to do that. It was just incapacitate them. So my point is that I really feel that him being trained by Piccolo was essential, just because I feel like Gohan being prepared for this tournament isn't so much about the power, because we know Gohan has the power. Vegeta even says that if Gohan, trained and whatnot, well, not even that. He says if Gohan participated in the tournament, because honestly, out of all of us, he has the most potential as a Saiyan human hybrid, which this was proven with Future Trunks during the Goku Black arc, him getting the Super Saiyan Rage mode. I feel like we know the power is there. I feel like the most important thing for Gohan is sharpening those skills again, getting back into the fighting mode, getting those reflexes back in the gear, getting his fighting sense on tack. Because even though, and again, I feel like aside from Bootanks being more powerful than Gohan, I feel that one of the major reasons he lost was not Gohan simply losing his confidence, because at least in the anime, if you kind of rewatch that fight, it was Buu using the Piccolo in his brain, kind of like using mind games against Gohan, even though Gohan says your mind games won't work on me. It's really, he's like, man, didn't Piccolo train you better than this? Your brother thinks you're letting him down, and so on. And every time he did that, you notice Gohan is kind of like, cringing, because his confidence is dropping. He makes rash decisions that ends up with him getting his ass handed to him by Buu. Even though his power was ultimate, Mystic Gohan, I don't think the old Kai could bring back his fighting sense. Yes, the old Kai brought his latent dormant power to the surface, but he couldn't revive or bring back the fighting sense that, Goku had taught him, Piccolo had taught him. it was just Gohan with all this power. And he was just wailing on Super Boo because he could. But then when Boo-Tanks came into the picture, it was not only him being overpowered, but it was him being, psychologically attacked as well. So I feel that the training with Piccolo, getting his body in shape, was more important than him reaching a new level. Now that we have him, sparring against Goku and holding his own, that was pretty impressive. And then against the Barry Khan Wadagash monster thing, that was pretty cool too. I hope that after the tournament is announced, that we get a little bit of time before the tournament is announced for them to train. So I hope that Gohan does get back into shape. More importantly, more than anything else, because again, we did have the shot of him looking like he was in Ultimate Gohan form when Trunks was departing. Honestly, I feel like that was the writers and artists kind of doing something to show Gohan as a badass once again, because I think it was cooler that Trunks saw that Gohan before he departed, aside from the nerdy Gohan with glasses, kind of see, oh man, Gohan, my brother, my hero, looking like a badass rather than him looking like, a white Steve Urkel, whatever. And he was kind of sweating because honestly, I don't think he was training with Piccolo, because I don't think it would have been a good idea I feel like Piccolo was the one to rush over to Gohan's house to tell him that Trunks was leaving, and Gohan was in the middle of, studying and whatnot in his, civilian clothes. Then he powered up, maybe the ultimate Gohan to fly as fast as he can to Capsule Corp before Trunks left. I feel like that is a more plausible theory than Gohan and Piccolo training, Gohan then going all the way home to switch clothes and then go to Capsule Corp. That's just my personal opinion. So I will end the video on this note, because I actually did another video about, Vegeta, Gohan fighting for their families. If Gohan, he is fighting in the tournament, but if he is, being a badass and training and whatnot, I think it would be cool for Gohan not necessarily to go SS Blue, but for Gohan to use a new form. It could be the Super Saiyan Rage mode that Trunks used. But honestly, I feel like it could be something different. I want it to be, because Gohan, every time he reaches a new level, it's something different and unique. For example, he was the first one to go Super Saiyan 2. Yes, he reached Super Saiyan, but then he went one step above his dad and Vegeta and everybody else. He went Super Saiyan 2. Then when he got his power unleashed by the Elder Kai, it was Ultimate Gohan. It was his power. It wasn't a new Super Saiyan transformation. It was like literally Gohan the true Gohan brought to the surface. So I do hope that we get a new form for Gohan rather than a form we've already seen. So honestly, when it boils down to it, I hope Gohan gets that fighting sense back. I really do. I do think the two-parter with the Great Saiyaman movie was showing us that he does have the motivation to fight, and he has a wife and a daughter that loves and support him, because Videl said that, Pan thinks her dad is invincible, and, when he was the Great Saiyaman doing those poses and whatnot, Videl said that she loved it because it was bringing back old feelings to the, the guy that she fell in love with. So, honestly, I feel like Gohan being in this tournament is a great asset. Maybe it's going to make up for him not being in the Universe 6-7 tournament. And I hope he gets a new form, but more importantly, I hope he has that fighting sense back. That's the Gohan I want to see. So I'm going to bring this video to a close. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you later.